Welcome to the Fit Chicks and Hormones podcast, where I share my insight to help you move through your perimenopause and menopausal years with ease. In this podcast, I talk about natural solutions for balancing your hormones and empowering you to move away from the symptoms like fatigue, mood swings, hot flashes, and resistant weight loss to feeling vibrant, confident, and full of energy as you age gracefully. Let's get started. So today I want to talk about chemicals or toxins and how they are affecting your hormones and your ability to lose weight, your ability to feel good in your body. If you're somebody who is in perimenopause, to get rid of all those hormonal symptoms that you have going on. And when I say chemicals, I mean all the junky products that you use on a daily basis. Yes, it's true. Your lotion, your deodorant, the pans you cook in, laundry soap, all those things could be affecting your body's ability to thrive and lose weight. So let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like I'm doing all the things right? I'm eating clean, I'm hitting my macros, I'm eating enough protein, I'm working out 3 times a week, I'm getting my movement, I'm managing my stress, but nothing is happening. Well, if that's what's going on, it could be that you need to focus on removing the toxins from your body next. Okay? So in this episode, I'm going to break down what endocrine disruptors are, like what they actually are, where they're hiding in your everyday life, and how you can start cleaning them out of your system. And then I'm going to give you the free guide that I made about detoxing your environment, which makes it super simple, right? If you're not sure what you should be doing, free guide for you. It'll explain everything. So first, let's start with the basics. What are endocrine disruptors? Because maybe you've never heard of that, right? Maybe you've heard of me say there's chemicals in your products, don't use them. But what endocrine disruptors are, they're chemicals that mess with your hormones. So think of your endocrine system like an air traffic control tower coordinating flights, which are your hormones, coming in and out of the airport, which is the body. Okay? So each flight must take off and land on time so that everything operates smoothly without anybody colliding or hitting each other or any delays, right? So what they are doing is keeping everything in your body and your hormones running smoothly. From your metabolism and stress response to how your body processes fats and helps with fertility. But when endocrine disruptors sneak into your body, it's like there are too many planes coming in and out of the same thing and nothing is getting directed anywhere. And then everything is falling out of sync and you're having crashes. And that's when your body's developing those symptoms. That's when you're not losing weight. That's why if you're someone who is trying to get pregnant, maybe you're struggling with that because you got all this junk going on in your body, which is affecting your hormones, okay? These chemicals can mimic your natural hormones or block them entirely, tricking your body into thinking it's too much or too little of something it needs. So, what can happen is we develop a lot of estrogen dominance, so we have way too much estrogen in our body, or not enough estrogen in our body because these synthetic chemicals are making our body think, oh, there's enough estrogen going on, we don't need to provide enough estrogen. And then you're having all these hormonal symptoms and things going on. And over time, this hormonal imbalance can lead to stubborn weight gain, insulin resistance, inflammation, and can even things like PCOS, thyroid issues, and early menopause. So if you're somebody that's going into menopause in your late 30s, maybe you would just have a lot of too much toxic buildup in your body. So I just want to talk about a little bit how this is affecting your weight loss efforts. So when your hormones are out of whack, your metabolism can slow to a crawl, right? I've talked about this many times. So that slow metabolism, that keeps you from burning fat. So for instance, BPA and phthalates, which could be in anything, in your water bottles, in your in your skincare products, things like that, they can interfere with insulin sensitivity, which makes it harder for your body to process sugar and easier to store fat. Not what we're looking for, is it? That's not what we want to have happen. It can also mess with your thyroid, which is basically your metabolism's command center, your thermostat. That tells your body to burn fat or not. So if your thyroid's off, you're not going to lose weight. So basically, you need to reduce the chemicals, the toxins that you're bringing into your body. And when you do that, you're giving your body the chance to rebalance, those hormones to balance out. And you might notice that you're finally responding to your workouts. You're starting to see more muscle tone. You're building more muscle. And it's easier for you to stick to the meal plans that you're doing. And you're seeing less belly fat, less body fat. That weight is finally starting to go down, right? So, something to pay attention to, okay? So, now that I've explained what endocrine disruptors are, what they do to your body, let's talk about where they're hiding and what you need to be aware of. Okay, these are like the top ones that I think are really important, but it kind of encompasses a whole bunch of things, okay? So first is plastics, and this is probably the one that you already know. You're like, you've heard this so much that you already know that plastics are not good for you, right? The water bottles, food containers, and even plastic wrap, they often contain BPA and phthalates. These are notorious for affecting your hormones, okay? Next is, so obviously there's some options. We'll talk about those in a minute, right? So plastics, not the plastic water bottles, get rid of them. Food containers, I'll talk about those in a minute. Plastic wrap, I would have never thought that. I don't use that anymore. But there are so many options out there, you just have to look for them, okay? Next is personal care products. Now this is going to be huge because as a woman, most of us are using lotions. We have different shampoos for our hair, all the makeup that we put on. These things are all full of parabens, synthetic fragrances, and phthalates. Not to mention sulfates, so many other chemicals. If it smells good, it's probably too good to be true. It's not something you should be using on your body unless you know that it is natural, okay? They put all that smelly stuff in there, but it's not natural. It isn't an essential oil. It's not plant-based. It's from a chemical. And how's that going to interact with your body? Poorly. Cleaning products. Anything you spray on the counter. Laundry soap. Soap that you use on your body, right? Anything that you're using to clean, it's packed with harsh chemicals that affect your hormones. There's so many. If you go into your pantry, your laundry room, under your kitchen sink, under your bathroom sink, wherever you hold those products, I want you to go in there and look and see. Do they smell good? Is that why you use them? Do they say they're gonna clean and they bleach and do all this stuff? Like, if you just pay attention to what you're using, you'll notice, and maybe how your body's reacting when you are using them. Okay. Food. Pesticides on produce and hormones in conventionally raised meat and dairy are big things that affect your hormones, okay? If you ever notice, I think this is crazy, and I never really thought about it until now, like sometimes you get chicken breasts and they're huge. They're just like enormous, and you're like, what kind of a chicken was this? It looks like a turkey. That's because they've put hormones in those chickens to make them grow bigger so that they can grow fatter so that they produce more chicken. They can do this with any animal, right? So you have to kind of be aware and do the best you can in buying organic or clean food products, okay? And then cookware. So you want to have clean food, then you want to make sure you're cooking it on something that is clean as well. So the non-stick pans that are made with Teflon release harmful chemicals, especially when they're overheated. So if you're using, high heat on them, that's just it's cooking chemicals into your food. Cooking chemicals into your food. That is not so good, right? Because that's going to, again, put those chemicals into your body. Cooks it into your food, puts it in your body. That's what I think of. Like, I always think of anything I think about, because I do as many clean products as possible. I don't want that stuff in my body. It just makes me cringe. I just think of anything that's getting into my body that is affecting me, I don't want to have it around me, okay? And here's the thing. Because we live in a world that is so toxic right now. Like, if you think about 23 years ago, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't it wasn't as easy to be overloaded with these toxins, right? But now is the time to take the steps to do as much as possible to detox your body on a daily basis. Now, first, go back to the podcast that I just did, because that will give you some insight into how you can get rid of what you already are using, right? Detox your body on a daily basis. So that podcast is the one I just did before this. Go back and listen to that. But now it's about making better choices. Cleaning up the things. Cleaning up the products that you have. And here's the thing. You don't have to get rid of everything right now. Just say, there's no way I can afford to throw everything out. You don't have to do that. Slowly start switching things out. As you run out of something, get something that's a healthier option. Okay? And do it as you can. Okay? Because the more that you do that, the better your body's going to feel, the better your body's going to respond when you're trying to do whatever it is. Just even feel good in your body, right? We're constantly trying to do things to make ourselves feel body, but if we're constantly being bombarded with these toxins and putting them on our bodies purposely, it's not helping us, okay? So the goal is to reduce your exposure to these things as much as possible, because obviously, to be 100% toxin free, you'd have to live in a bubble with nothing. And that's just not going to happen, right? So here are some suggestions for you to start switching things out to better alternatives to make your body feel better, to get rid of those hormonal symptoms, and to help you finally lose some weight. First off is switching out the plastics. So you want to replace your plastic water bottles and food containers with glass or stainless steel. And it's also going to make your food taste better. We use some glass and we use some plastic to store our food in. Now, the caveat to that is I allow my foods to fully cool before I put them in there. So if I make something on the stove or in my air fryer, I will put them on a glass plate or a ceramic plate, let them cool completely, then I put them in the plastic. And I never, ever, 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 ever heat any of my food in plastic in a microwave. It's always in a glass bowl. Okay? So something to be aware of. Especially if you shouldn't be eating these anyway, but if you're going out and buying those prepackaged foods and they're in those, they say BPA-free plastics, it's still plastic. Do not heat your food in there. Take it out. We just bought some of this coconut rice and it's in a plastic container. And it says, oh, just open the lid and put it in the microwave. No. I took it out of that container, put it in a glass container, and put it in the microwave. I'm not willing to cook the chemicals into my food, okay? So, replace the plastics. Then, start doing those cleaners, right? Cleaner alternatives to your cleaners. So think sprays, laundry, air fresheners, and use something that's clean and non-toxic. So you can use a diffuser for air freshener. I use a diffuser, essential oils. It's a great way to do that, but they do also have lots of non-toxic air fresheners. Or you can make your own cleaners with vinegar, baking soda, and water. I've done that before. And then if you have essential oils, put a little drop of that, some lemon or something. I use that a lot to spray it down my counters. It's super easy to use and very affordable. It may stink a little bit like vinegar for a while, but it's better than toxins, right? Start cleaning out your personal care products. Get rid of anything that smells. So perfume. Perfume it's full of, it makes you smell, you think it makes you smell good, but it's just a bunch of chemicals. Use something more natural. You can use essential oils. Look for natural alternatives. When I want to find a natural product, I will Google search or Amazon search all natural whatever. All natural perfume, all natural eyeshadow, all natural mascara, all natural laundry soap. And you want to look in the description and look, is it free? And they will say, is it free of parabens, sulfates, phthalates, all the things that are chemicals. Right? So don't just trust that they say that it's natural, because I've done this before and they just say they're not tested on animals. That doesn't mean that they're natural. That just means they're not testing them on animals. So again, something to pay attention. Clean up your cleaners. There's a lot of different options out there. 20 years ago, we didn't have the options we have now. And again, those are things you want to, and it's not just your perfume, but it's in your skincare and your makeup. Again, anything that you're putting on your body, lotion, shampoo, all the things, it's being absorbed into your skin. Anything that's absorbed into your skin affects your endocrine system. It affects your hormones. It affects your liver, has to detox it and work extra hard. If it can't detox it, it stays in your body, circulates in your body, and causes all these hormonal symptoms and keeps you from losing weight. And just to back up a little bit, so I was talking about all these things that are in shampoo. I just wanted to share this with you because it took me a while to figure this out. But when I use shampoo that has sulfates in it, which all of them do unless they're natural, I get sores on my head, like literal sores that hurt, and my head itches. So I cannot use any, and so pay attention to that. And it makes my eyes burn. So if your body is going to give you signals that what you are using, whether it's food or it's products, if you're finding that you have a lot of brain fog, or maybe you're not sleeping well, or you have low energy, it could be because of these toxins that your body's absorbing. So just something to pay attention to. I teach my clients to be so body aware. What's happening when you do something, when you eat something, when you use something? Is your body telling you that maybe you shouldn't be doing it? Okay, so pay attention to that. When it comes to foods, choose organic as much as possible. There's also a Dirty Dozen fruits and vegetable list that you can look up. It's on the ewg.org list, or you can just search Dirty Dozen in Google and that will come up. It's also going to be linked in the free guide that I have for you, so you can check it out there. Next is filter your water. Invest in a good water filter to remove contaminants like chlorine and lead. When we moved into our new house about 3 months ago, first thing I did was order a water pitcher because we didn't have a filter on our fridge yet, and I was not going to drink water out of the sink. I still don't drink water out of our sink, out of our faucet. It either comes filtered through the fridge or a filtered water pitcher in our refrigerator. Very, very affordable. And then last thing is upgrade your cookware, because this is probably going to be the most expensive, right? Trading in your nonstick pans, because we all like the pans that don't stick because they're a pain to clean. But if they have Teflon on them, you're just cooking the chemicals right into your food. So go for stainless steel, cast iron, or ceramic. We just bought a new. I think it's a combination of stainless steel and ceramic, and it's amazing. Love it, but it was freaking crazy expensive. But obviously, hopefully it will last a long time. So I just found a couple other alternatives because we want to get a smaller one that we do our eggs in, and so much more affordable. So I'm going to be linking that in the guide as well. So and they are stainless, and I mean they're very easy to clean, so it's awesome. Again, all these will be linked in that guide that I have for you. Okay, so if you want that guide, just comment toxin free guide or send me a message and I will get that to you. Going back through all this, I want you to think about making these changes. It's not just important for your hormones. It's important for your overall health too. But not only that, you're going to see clear skin, you're going to have more energy, and you're going to see that weight loss. You're going to see that scale finally move. I promise you. Because if it's the last thing that you have not yet changed, this is where your focus needs to be next, okay? Endocrine disruptors, or toxins if you want to call them that, are hiding in everything. Everything. But if you have just these simple swaps, trading things out, you can reduce your exposure and start feeling better. Remember, this isn't about being perfect, it's about making progress and taking care of your body. And to help you get started, as I mentioned, I put together a free guide that walks you through the simple steps to detox your environment. It explains what you should be looking for in your products. It explains why it's affecting you and how it's affecting you. And then I listed all the different products that I personally use. And I am always looking for the most affordable option, okay? The best, most affordable, because sometimes if it's very affordable, sometimes it's not a great product. So I've tried many and many over the past 10 years. So these are the ones that I'm currently using that I've really learned to love and that I'm using on a daily basis. I linked as many as I could, but if you still have questions about any of them, just feel free to send me a message and I will help you to figure out a better option for what you have, okay? And that's all. If you have any, I am going to put this in the show notes of the podcast as well, so you could just pick that up there too. So if this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend or leave a review. It helps me to spread the word and reach more amazing women that are struggling but need to feel amazing. Thank you so much for listening and have a great rest of your day. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with a friend or leave a review. It helps me to spread the word and reach more amazing women like you who are struggling with weight loss. I hope this episode today resonated with you, and if it did, I would love for you to share it on your stories and tag me on Instagram or Facebook. A review would be appreciated too. Your reviews and shares not only help us to grow, but they give other women who are struggling through their menopausal years hope that they don't have to continue living the way that they do. Your questions and experiences are also so helpful in giving me subjects to talk about. So feel free to reach out to me anytime on Facebook or Instagram with anything. I would love to help.